Hello. Today we're looking at N63 turbochargers. This is from a BMW N63 equipped engine, like a 550i or X5, 650, 750 models. You'll see we have two turbochargers. This one on the right has 40,000 miles on it, supposedly. Bought it on eBay. This one on the left came out of my X5 with 105,000 miles on it. Both the turbochargers are identical, but I was experiencing some 310B codes, which I read online is sort of related to the wastegate, seemingly, or some sort of vacuum leak related to the control system. So I didn't know which part it was, so I decided to just buy a whole new turbocharger because a used one comes with the pressure converter in the back, which is kind of like a diverter valve, I guess. And then it comes with that diaphragm as well. So I figured I'd get a couple extra parts, and then if I bought it used at a good price, and it wouldn't really matter if I didn't have it right. So I'm going to attempt to show you what the wastegate looks like when it's closed and what happens when it gets bushing wear on this mechanism. These wastegates are actuated by this arm, and this arm then turns this lever which closes the wastegate, and that's what generates pressure inside to turn the spool. So if it's open, you're not getting much boost. When it's closed, that's forcing the air through, which in turn is turning your vanes. I'm not sure if you can really see that, but so on this new turbocharger, I decided I would test the wastegate to see how it worked and make sure it functioned correctly versus the old one. So you can see I have a line plugged in to the diaphragm that controls this control rod, and I have a little hand pump vacuum here, and I'm going to pump it up, and you can see how that wastegate moves when you pump it up. So applying vacuum, and I have 15 psi on vacuum, and when you put your fingers on this, it doesn't hardly wiggle or move at all. So I'm considering this to be a good turbocharger with a good wastegate. So this is my old turbocharger, again with 105,000 miles. I have the same line plugged into the diaphragm that controls that control rod. I pump it up. You can see the wastegate seems to move just fine. I have the same 15 pounds of air, but look at this. Look how much it moves. There's quite a bit of play in there, and I believe this is what's causing my error. You can kind of tell by looking at it and wiggling it when there's no vacuum applied that there's a difference in the amount of measurable movement. So hopefully this provides some help. Unfortunately, you have to remove the turbochargers to check. I don't think there's any way you can really check from the outside. It's not that hard to remove the turbocharger if you look at the directions and work through that. I've done it once before, so this is the second time. It took me about 2 hours to remove one. So I'm going to try to put it back together. Just a word of caution, if you're removing your own turbochargers, you're going to need to buy new oil lines for the turbocharger to make sure you get clean ones. So you got to have new ones, and you're probably going to have to replace the turbo cover, the oil cover under the engine, which is a huge source of leaks. The design on these turbochargers, or the engine itself, is pretty prone to failure on rubber lines and various lines just because of the amount of heat. So hopefully this helps, and if you have any comments, you can put them below in the comments. Thank you.